Won't you let me take you with me? I'm gonna give away all my memories. I'm packing them up tonight. No need to leave them at home when I can put them in a song and we can play them all night long. For drinkers in another town or field in this instance. And early in the morning when we're back out on that highway, pushing back miles, listening to the gears shake. We'll life, and we'll be lonesome, we'll be trying. Oh, there's still a ton of this song left, friends. So y'all buckle up. Y'all feeling cozy over there in the passenger seat? Very good. Feel free to roll the window down. There's no AC in this rig. Crack yourself a road soda if you need one. It'll be hard living, a little scary when it ain't fun. Like bandits on the run from nothing in a 40 Econo line parked back at home. We'll keep 'em honky talking. We're gonna push 'em around the floors until they can't walk out them doors. And well, sometimes neither can we. This altitude early in the morning when we're back out on that highway, pushing back miles, listening to the gears shake. We'll life, and we'll be lonesome, we'll be trying. Oh, and as always, this goes out to the coldest little weed bag in northern Colorado. Y'all see that lick I just did? I've been practicing that just for y'all. Highway 287 outside of Virginia Dale in between Fort Collins and Laramie. You gotta watch out for them County Richards up there in Wyoming. They don't take too kindly to people seeking out alternative forms of, medication, like we do in Arkansas. And I am a card-carrying member of that club, my friends. Anyhow, there just sometimes ain't no money in it, but we'll have smiles on our faces, doing beers in our favorite places, right here at Black Beer Festival. Come on now, y'all doing beers and having fun? Come on now, you're gonna do better than that. Y'all having beers and doing fun? You're doing beers and having fun. Are you doing both? Keep them ears to the ground for a place to sleep each night. But keep them bags packed, but when we do the last show, we're gonna drive the whole damn way home. Red Eye from Denver, are you ready? Buckle up early in the morning when we're back out on that highway, pushing back miles, listening to the gears shake. We'll life, we'll be lonesome, we'll be trying. Oh. That's that lick again right there. I did it just for you guys. So I've been kind of contemplating which story I'm going to plug in here because I've been working on a new one and I have an old one for this part. So there's a story about, it kind of all involves County Richards, which is a slang term only familiar to a certain type of people, maybe like me. Anyhow, there's one story about getting pulled over in Kansas. There's one story about going to jail in Texas. What y'all want? Okay, I figured y'all would choose this one. All right. This is a little bit about why I keep my happy ass in Arkansas and I avoid that godforsaken place. Did I say that loud? Visit Arkansas, not Texas, trust me. I'm sorry I'm about to tell the story, you guys. This story by no means reflects the values of the great state of Arkansas. That's the disclaimer. Okay, anyhow, so I'm on one of my first tours back after the old pandemic, you see, and I was out with my old cousin Nicky Bob Shoulders, and we did out about 3 or 4 dates together, and I played down in Austin. And I got given this little sack of these little funky looking little mushrooms. And I thought, well, that's fun. Someone's trying to help me free my mind, that's real polite of them, real kind, They're just looking out. So anyhow, I'm driving across Texas with this paraphernalia and these little illicit materials and such. And I'm getting a little nervous about it because, well, I'm in, Texas, and it's a god-awful, god-forsaken landscape, terrible cops. Dallas sucks. Anyway, down once. But anyway, I'm in a mood today. I'm in a mood. So, This is a super long story. Y'all ready for this? Because it's going to take up about half the set. Y'all ready for it? All right. This is about the greatest cup of coffee in Amarillo, Texas. So I got these little mushies on me, and there's this one old little canyon between Austin and Trinidad, Colorado, where I was heading for the next show. We had this Sunday off, and so we're driving about 7-8 hours. We finally stopped at this canyon because I want to see what's up here. There must be something pretty out here in this place. So we stopped there. My mom would be so upset I'm telling you guys this. Anyhow, so we stopped there, and I say, Nicky Bob, I'm kind of tired of carrying this stuff on me because I'm really scared all these police here are going to do something bad to me. And he said, all right, why don't you just munch down on those suckers, throw me your keys, and I'll drive us into Amarillo, and we'll giggle the forensic files on the TV at the Motel 6. So I said, that sounds delightful. So I proceeded to consume, these funky little doodads. And so I almost consumed the whole bag, and we start walking up the parking lot. We see that there's some state park rangers up there. And little do we know until they informed us that they're in fact deputized state dicks, which sucks. That's a big thing that sucks about Texas. See, in Arkansas, you go out to the park and they're going to be like, hey, please don't burn our forest down, and please be kind to people, and y'all just enjoy your stay. And over there, they're just really aggressive. So these guys come up to us and they say, hey man, we see marijuana in your cup holder, and me being a lazy citizen, I forgot to remove my Arkansas Marijuana Club stuff from the cup holder, so they had the right to search my person. So they do so, and they find the 0.1 grams of the 3.5 grams of the mushrooms that I had consumed, and they proceeded to turn me around and arrest my ass. And I'm standing on the edge of this canyon, and the sky's turning purple, and my friends started baby burping me cigarettes. The first cigarette I had in 3 years, the last cigarette I had, and it was the best cigarette of my life. It's a really long story. You guys ready for this? Okay. Anyhow, so they haul me in, and the worst part about hauling me in is they make me listen to Nick's music, and I know how much Nick doesn't like the cops, And I was like, man, Nick would be pissed. And then they started playing my music, which really got under my skin. Anyhow, they get me in there, they strike me, they gripe me, they check me on in there. And this old fella says to me that's checking me, he says, all right, you got your flu shot? Yeah, I got my flu shot. He said, all right, you got your tetanus shot? Yeah, I got my tetanus shot. He said, you get the COVID vaccine? I said, yeah, I got the COVID vaccine. He looks at me square in the eye and he says, I ain't getting that rabies shot. And I said, but you did get your rabies shot, right? They ain't that smart out there in Texas. Anyhow, long story short, I spent the whole night having a really goofy time laughing about the whole institution of the police and laughing about the whole silliness of the fact that I was even there. Also becoming very well acquainted of my white privilege in that situation, don't get me wrong. So I spend the night, and the next day I get a rain, I call my buddies, and when they gave me that little hour outside of the cell, they give you 1 hour, and there's 4 squares down in the middle of the cell block, and you get 15 minutes in each square, and they rotate you around. So the first square you get the telephones. I call my buddies and I said, all right, I've been arraigned. They said, we see your bail's posted, we're getting you out of jail today, we're going to try to make that show tonight. So I'm living on Easy Street after that, I'm like, all right, 6 more hours of this bullshit, sounds fine. These pricks haven't bent me over yet, and they ain't gonna. Anyhow, sorry I'm telling this story, you guys. Anyway, you guys still want to hear the rest of the story? I made poor Kai hold the one out for like 7 minutes the other night. He almost cramped up and killed him. Anyhow, so I get to the next square, and I'm close to the old bailiff officer there, and I'm trying to create small talk, and I realized that was a waste of time because I think that guy needs to get a real job. So then I move to the next square after the next 15 minutes, and this right here, friends, we've arrived. We've arrived at the best cup of coffee in Amarillo, Texas, y'all. It's right there. So all of a sudden, out the blue, I'm sitting there with my little issued mug, because they give me this little plastic mug, and I got water in it, because whatever, there's nothing else to drink, They didn't have any beer, I guess they're all out. It's a shitty bar, too. Shit baristas, shit bartenders. Anyway, so I get this knock at my right side, and this fella yells at me, Billy Ray! Me? Billy Ray! There's nobody else there, so I guess he's talking to me. He's, yeah, fuck yeah, Billy Ray! I'm like, all right, man, I gotta make best friends with this dude. So anyhow, he says, hey man, you want a cup of coffee? And I say, how the hell are you supposed to get me a cup of coffee? It's a solid metal cell door. You know, it's not bars. You can't just hand something through there. I'm just confused as hell. So of course I say, hell yeah, dude, what I do for a cup of coffee right now. Anyhow, so he disappears for about 10 seconds. And all of a sudden, right underneath the door slides a little piece of paper. And I look at that piece of paper. And that cop didn't see me. So we good. And I unfold that piece of paper, crease by crease. Lo and behold, the last little crease that's revealed is a brown powder. It's instant coffee, friends. And I look over at him, and he goes, fuck yeah! And he points behind me. And behind me, there's a hot water spigot on the wall. And I look at my mug, I chug that water, that little brown powder, I throw that in there, look up at the cop, he ain't looking, I scurry over there and fill that sucker up. And right there, friends, this beautiful, magical moment when the sky in my mind opened up, in which, of course, I knew everything was going to be fine. And I tasted that hot, fresh, instant, packaged, factory-made, delicious cup of coffee. And it changed my life, friends. And what I'm trying to get at here is that I had a pretty relatively easy time in there. When you got Blue Lives Matter flags hanging in the damn jail, you realize the whole system's bent against the people. This is not a system of rehabilitation or caring or protecting and serving, friends. This is a system of incarceration and slavery, and it's just dadgum capitalist evil bullshit. So I'll tell you this, jail is a scam. The bail system is a scam. Whenever I got out of that jail, and I signed my paperwork, and I found that joint that the cops didn't find, and bring me my cowboy hat, and I lit that sucker up when we headed out to Colorado. I looked over at my buddy Kurt, who was driving, and I said, buddy, we'll be doing most things our way, I guess, living life the hard way. It's easier the further you're from home. It's so delightful to be out here. Thank you kindly.